Everyone, sorry for the late start here. Had some technical difficulties working through. Good morning. My name is Gail Hartfield, Senior Forecaster here at the National Weather Service in Raleigh, and this is the routine weekly briefing for Central North Carolina covering the next week, today through October 18th. So let's get started. Okay, here's the latest visible satellite image and the radar overlaid on top of that. We did have some pretty good rain this morning. We expected most of the rain was going to be along and south of 64, and it edged a little north of there. So some of the triangle area got some light rain this morning. So yeah, that is all moving out though, and we are starting to see some clearing skies coming into the western and northern parts of the state. So that's good. We should have a little bit of sun coming in from the west as we had an upper level disturbance pass by. And I wanted to start off with the latest drought monitor, and this was issued just today. We've had an expansion of some of our drought conditions. We've got some abnormally dry conditions continuing over most of the western 2/3 of the state and even in the northeast sections, and some expansion of the moderate drought. You can see there 52.4% of the state is in abnormally dry and 9% in moderate drought. I wanted to throw up there too the 24-hour rainfall that we've had there from this morning's rain. So we had some southern sections of the area got a quarter to a half an inch of rain today. So hopefully that will help a little bit with this drought monitor. Here's wanted to show this graphic from the courtesy of the State Climate Office, and just to highlight there in the bottom left that last week's drought, these conditions have expanded from what we saw last week, and some interesting stats there too about the water availability at Jordan Lake. So it's down to just 70% of the full volume at this point. So we could use a little bit of this rain. So it's kind of nice to get this today. Okay, looking at the upcoming weather pattern for Central North Carolina, we've had a surface low pressure and an upper level disturbance both cross the southeast states today, and we'll be moving offshore this evening, so we'll continue to see those clearing skies. We'll have high pressure building in from the north tonight through Friday, so Friday should be dry. But we will have a warm front moving in from the southwest, and that will bring some rain chances as we get into late Friday night. That's going to be mostly some fairly light stuff, mostly in the western Piedmont through late Friday night. But Saturday morning, that will start expanding across the entirety of Central North Carolina. So we're looking at some pretty high probabilities of some rainfall. So most of the area should see some measurable rain, if not the entire area, as we get through late Friday night into Saturday. We do have a non-zero chance, very slight chance of some light rain Sunday night and Tuesday. We are in this pattern where we have a series of upper level disturbances passing through. So we'll kind of get these alternating bouts of busy weather followed by nice weather for a short bit. So kind of every day that goes by kind of alternates from a little disturbed weather to fairly nice weather. But most places Sunday through Wednesday will stay dry. As we've got this generally high pressure area building up from Canada through the central and eastern continental United States. As that high pressure arrives, we've got some near to slightly above normal readings that are going to be around through Saturday. Then these are going to cool off as we get into Sunday into the middle part of next week to well below normal temperatures. So we'll look at that in a little bit here. Here's the precipitation forecast for the next 5 days. You can see this morning's rain there today, and as we get into Friday, again, Friday will be dry. This is all after dark, and much of it after midnight. That precipitation you see there for Friday. So Friday will be dry. So we're looking at Friday night and into Saturday, we'll start to see those high precipitation chances, and then again mostly dry Sunday and Monday, and as we get in the middle part of next week, generally dry conditions. Any showers are going to be very sparse and very light. Severe thunderstorm potential, not very high. We do have a small chance. We're in that marginal level 1 risk there at the coastal sections. Not too worried about that at all. We might catch a brief little blip of thunder there with that stuff coming through on Saturday, but by and large, it's going to be mostly showers, and not expecting that to be a big deal. And other than that, no threat of storms for the next few days. Also, the excessive rainfall outlook, again, this rain that's coming through is going to be light, so no worries with excessive rainfall in the next few days. Here's the tropical weather outlook. We are on the downhill swing from the September peak of tropical season, but it only takes one, and we still have some action out there, including Tropical Depression Sean, that will stay well out over the central Atlantic here as we get into the weekend, and that won't be a big deal. And we are looking at this tropical wave off of Africa. There's just a 30% chance of that developing over the next week as it tracks to the west. And looking at the 8 to 14-day outlook, so the next week after this following week, good chance of below normal temperatures. We're in this pattern where we've got a pretty persistent rounds of upper level low pressure coming over our area, and that's going to hold our temperatures down over the next 2 weeks there. Precipitation not expected to be above or below normal, so no real strong preferences one way or the other with that. And we're starting to see our normal highs are getting into the upper 60s to low 70s as we get into the week after next, and lows. We're starting to see lows in the 40s, so fall is here, and it's going to start cooling off. I want to toss this in too. We've got an El Nino advisory does continue. This is hot off the presses, a new release to confirm that we are still in an El Nino advisory. El Nino is anticipated to continue through the northern hemisphere spring, so this includes through March through May of next year. The weather tendency during El Nino is for a faster storm pattern across the southern part of the U.S. So that implies stormier conditions over most of North Carolina. That said, this is just one piece of the forecasting puzzle. So anything could happen at any given time. So this is not to say that we'll necessarily have a busy winter, but that is just what the El Nino conditions, which are highly favored, would indicate for our area. So. And finally, weather summary. We've got that surface low pressure upper level disturbance today will be moving off by this evening, and we'll have high pressure building in from the north tonight through Friday. Then we'll have a warm front approaching. We'll bring some pretty high rain chances late Friday night through Saturday. After that, slight chances of rain Sunday night and again on Tuesday, associated with passage of upper level disturbances, but for the most part, that Sunday through Wednesday timeframe will be dry. And our near to slightly above normal readings will cool down to well below normal. We are going to have highs in the 60s there Sunday through Wednesday through most of the area. So no significant hazards are expected over the next 7 days. So thank you so much for attending today, and hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week and upcoming weekend, and we'll talk to you all on Monday.